Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news. All right, Lions fans, you're probably already hearing the buzz, and it's impossible not to get caught up in the hype. Rumors are swirling around the NFL about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the entire NFC North and give Detroit a serious edge heading into the postseason. And when we talk about game changers, the name Derwin James is at the heart of it all. Sources close to the league, including some credible reports from Adam Schefter, suggest that the Los Angeles Chargers might be looking to shake things up, and the Lions are right in the thick of it. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would the Chargers trade away one of their best defensive players? Well, sometimes teams have to make tough choices, especially when they're in rebuild mode and trying to manage their cap space. And the Chargers, sitting at a 6-7 record in December 2025, and dealing with a cap crunch after their rebuild with Harbaugh, are reportedly open to moving veteran assets for future picks and cap relief. Specifically, the trade idea floating around is that Los Angeles might send Derwin James to Detroit in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, plus safety Ifeatu Melifonwu. Now, I know this sounds like a lot, but hear me out. The Chargers, after a disappointing season, are looking to free up around $20 million in cap space, money that could be redirected toward their offensive line, especially for a young core of linemen still developing. Their defense, which has struggled mightily, especially against the run, allowing about 145 rushing yards per game, needs a shake-up. They're prioritizing adding draft picks to bolster their front seven, particularly looking for an edge rusher to complement Khalil Mack, who's due for an extension after 2026. It's a classic rebuild move, and moving Derwin James could be their way of hitting reset. Now, speaking of James, this guy is a game changer. As a hybrid safety, he's not just a typical defender. He's a playmaker who can do it all. With a career total of 12 interceptions and over 620 tackles by September 2025, he's a versatile force on the field. His 2025 stats are eye-popping: 6 interceptions in just 13 games, a 92, 1 PFF grade, and a missed tackle rate of just 6%. His ability to cover, blitz, and make plays in the backfield makes him a nightmare for offenses. In Week 11 against the Broncos, James racked up 15 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups, showcasing his elite instincts and ball skills. And his impact isn't just about stats, it's about leadership and presence. He's a guy who elevates your entire secondary, and for a Lions team that's been hit hard by injuries, especially losing Brian Branch to an Achilles injury and Kirby Joseph to a knee injury, adding a player like James could be the boost they need to solidify that back end. And let's not forget, the Lions are currently holding a 9-4 record, fighting for the NFC North crown, but their secondary has been banged up. Brian Branch's IR stint has left a void, and Kirby Joseph's injury has made things even more challenging. Bringing in Derwin James would not only fill those gaps, but elevate the entire defense. James's ability to play multiple roles, covering TEs, blitzing, and playing in the box, fits perfectly with what Detroit needs. His profile is reminiscent of Minkah Fitzpatrick's trade back in 2019, which helped Pittsburgh become a playoff force. James's advanced stats are impressive, allowing only 3-4 yards after catch per tackle, a 19% blitz win rate, and a 13.2% forced incompletion rate. His 2025 performance includes 6 sacks, 55 pass deflections, and an ability to disrupt the rhythm of offenses. Against the Broncos, he showcased why he's considered one of the most versatile safeties in the league. Now, some skeptics might argue that trading an all-pro like James could weaken the Chargers' secondary, but the Chargers' struggles against the run and their cap situation make this move plausible. They're also trying to extend Khalil Mack and manage their payroll, so shedding James might be a calculated risk to rebuild faster. Moreover, the Chargers' defense, which is allowing over 145 rushing yards per game, desperately needs an overhaul. They're prioritizing drafting an edge rusher, and with around $18 million in cap space, they could make some moves to stay competitive, but right now, A trade like this might be their best option. For Detroit, this potential deal would be a game changer. With James in the backfield, the Lions' pass defense could see an immediate boost, projected to decrease opponent passing yards by around 28%, from about 265 yards per game down to roughly 191. That's huge. Not only would this make it tougher for teams to throw against Detroit, but it would also increase turnovers, as James has the knack for forcing fumbles and creating big plays. His presence would elevate the Lions' secondary from a solid unit to one of the league's best, especially with the injury concerns. Plus, with Brian Branch out, James's leadership and playmaking ability could be the difference maker in close games down the stretch. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could have massive playoff implications. The Lions are already in the mix for a deep postseason run, and adding James could push their Super Bowl odds from +3,500 to +1,200, according to DraftKings in December 2025. That kind of jump in odds makes Detroit a serious contender, especially considering their offensive firepower with Jared Goff, who's thrown for over 400 yards this season with an impressive 88.6 PFF grade. Goff's play-action game to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's already amassed 200 receiving yards, would only get better with a more stout secondary behind him. The combination of a stronger pass defense and a formidable front seven could turn Detroit into a true playoff nightmare for opponents. Now, let's talk about the ripple effect. If the Lions land Derwin James, their odds to win Super Bowl LX could skyrocket, jumping from +3,500 to +1,200. That's a huge leap, and it positions Detroit as one of the favorites in the NFC. James's impact isn't just about stats, it's about what he brings in clutch moments. Think about how Minkah Fitzpatrick's trade in 2019 propelled the Steelers into the playoffs, or how Ed Reed's leadership helped the Ravens' 2012 Super Bowl run. James has that same potential to be the X-factor in Detroit's playoff push, especially as they face tough division rivals and playoff-caliber teams. In conclusion, this trade rumor is more than just hot air. It's a strategic move that could define the Lions' season for years to come. It's about building a secondary that's not just good, but elite, and setting Detroit up for a sustained period of success. Meanwhile, the Chargers might be sacrificing a star for future assets and cap flexibility, aiming to rebuild quickly and retool their defense. As Lions fans, we should be excited about the possibilities. Derwin James could be the piece that takes this team from good to great, from playoff contenders to true Super Bowl contenders. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time, and it's exactly the kind of move that energizes a fan base eager for Lombardi trophies. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Derwin James would be the missing piece that finally gets Detroit over the hump? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Lions news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this, the Motor City roar is only getting louder. Let's go Lions!